right. Gene. Gene, not to be confused with denim. So in biology, the word gene has two meanings. The Mendelian gene is a basic unit of heredity. Interesting. Mendelian, referring to Mendel's theory of heredity. All right, we're going to get there. And then, okay, so heredity, also called inheritance or biological inheritance. So that's one side of the coin. So the Mendelian gene as a basic unit of heredity, and the other side of the coin, the molecular gene, is a sequence of nucleotides in DNA that is transcribed to produce a functional RNA. Right. We have a DNA, and we have an RNA. So we have a sequence of nucleotides in DNA that is transcribed to produce a functional RNA. So we'll hopefully get into those. So what is a nucleotide? What is a DNA? Why is the RNA functional? There are two types of molecular genes. Okay, so we said we have the Mendelian gene, which is the basic unit of heredity. We have the molecular gene, which breaks into two. Protein coding genes, and non-coding genes. During gene expression, so one is making coding for proteins, and one is non-coding. Again, put that on silent. RNA can be directly functional, or be, which is its own Wikipedia, or be in the intermediate template for the synthesis of a protein. Okay, don't worry, I'm confused as well. Let's take a look at this picture right now. Okay, got it. So a gene is a region of DNA. It's a region of the DNA that encodes function. A chromosome consists of a long strand of DNA containing many genes. Chromosome consists of a long strand of DNA and it contains many genes. Okay. A human chromosome can be up to 250 mega base pairs. Mega base pairs. So mega is a unit and contains thousands of genes. So let's have a look. I think BP means base pairs. So this is a chromosome. I think it kind of looks like an X. And the chromosome has 10 to the 7th. So that's 10 million, I think. 10 to the 6th would be a million. So 10 to the 7th is 10 million. To 10 to the 10th would be 10 billion base pairs. So 10 million to 10 billion base pairs in a chromosome. And it seems like it's made of this it's kind of like I'm going to use a terrible metaphor, but it's kind of like a sock that your grandma has knitted for you, and the thread that it's been knitted from is this DNA strand, and then the gene, which has some function to it, is 10 to the 3rd to 10 to the 6th base pairs. All right, very confusing, but let's move on. The transmission of genes to an organism's offspring, which is like the young creation of a living organism, the young creation. So, simple example would be your parent, like you are the offspring of your parents. A cub is the offspring of a bear. I guess when cells replicate, I reckon the newly fresh organism, the newly fresh created cell is the offspring. So an organism's offspring is the basis of inheritance of the phenotypic traits, which has its own Wikipedia. So there's a new offspring, and it inherits phenotypic traits from one generation to the next. These genes make up different DNA sequences. The genes make up different DNA sequences together, called genotype, that is specific to every given individual within the gene pool of the population of a given species. Notice how many of these are linked: genotype, gene pool, population, and species. The genotype, along with the environmental and developmental factors, ultimately determines the phenotype of the individual. Okay? And look at, each one of these is its own little thing, its own wiki. Most biological traits occur under the combined influences of polygenes and gene-environment interactions. Some genetic traits are instantly visible, such as eye color or the number of limbs. Others are not, such as blood type, the risk for specific diseases, or thousands of basic biochemical processes that constitute life. A gene can acquire mutations in its sequence, leading to different variants known as alleles. Interesting. In the population, these alleles encode slightly different versions of a gene, which may cause different phenotypical traits. Genes evolve due to the natural selection, or survival of the fittest and genetic drift of alleles. Okay, a lot to unpack here. Look at almost every other word here is its own Wikipedia page. Let's do a scroll through the, see if there's any cool pictures that stand out. So this is the Mendel guy, which has to do with the inherited units, Mendelian. Okay, and then DNA. We got some really cool kind of infographics, charts, and whatnot. Yeah, these are the amino acids. So this is there's a lot to unpack here. A lot to unpack here in this wiki. Of course, I just read the intro, and already we had so many different links to other Wikipedias just in this first 3 paragraphs. I didn't even get into it. All right, that's it for this one.